Thank you very much. Thank you to Rabbi Green for joining us. And now I am bringing on our next speaker for this evening. She is one of my favorite people in the world. I have spent many years getting to know her. Thank God. I met her a couple years ago on one of my first Torah live shoots. Okay. I'm sure she'll tell you some of the stories, but she is the person who does it all. Without her, there's no production in some of the, even from the smallest shoot to the largest shoot. For example, the Lost Light, where we had over 130 extras, actresses, extras, actors, and tons of locations. But I'm going to stop talking and bring her in. Welcome, everybody. Sharon Katz, our production manager here at Torah Live. How are you doing, Sharon?
It's so exciting to be here tonight. No, it really is exciting to be here. You know, everybody's talking today about online learning and on-screen learning. And Rabbi Dan provided on-screen learning a decade ago. It was such a visionary. He saw that his students and his and kids responded to learning on the screen. They responded to the animation. They responded to the visuals. They responded to the special effects. And he was such a genius that what did he make them respond to? Torah, in the visuals and the special effects, in the great dramatic and funny sketches that we have. And he used all of the tools of the outside world, the media, the 21st century media, to bring the message of Torah and the message of Midos and the message of learning to kids in the way that they respond. So it's just such an honor to be here and to be part of this evening. And I'm lucky.
We are lucky to have you, as always.
Thank you. Well, I want to be on a movie with you again soon, Marty. And if everybody helps tonight, they'll put us back to work. I think I read today that 100,000 100,000 movies have been watched in the past 4 months. 100,000 Torah Live movies have been watched by like 40,000 people around the world. That's unbelievable. And we want to make more movies for you. We have one coming up that has like 175 characters in it. And it has like, I don't know, 175 characters and like 50 different scenes. And we want to do that. And I want to go back to work as the production manager of Torah Live. You know that I have the best job in the world because I could be part of the magic that spreads the Torah to the 21st century. It's just amazing. It's incredible.
You really do, Sharon, and you're amazing. Can you share us, can you share with us some of, just give us a story of one of your favorite, a story that stands out in your memory of, just to show people how much actually goes into these productions.
Okay. So, well, I should first say that as production manager, I do all the logistical things that are needed on a set. I get hundreds of actors that a director can choose from. I find dozens of locations. I find all the unique props that they need. And so I try to bring the vision of the script, Rabbi Dan and the scriptwriter and the director, I try to bring it to life for them. If they want to shoot on top of a mountain, I find the mountain. If they want to shoot in the bottom of the ocean, I find the ocean. I get the issurim, the papers of like that we're allowed to do it. If they want an animal to do something, I find the animal. I mean, I have interviewed bunnies, really, and it all sounds like fun, actually, but it is fun. But we've also had some tremendous almost fails. But Hashem loves Rabbi Roth. And so everything in the end worked out. So I guess maybe I'll start with a fail that in the end worked out. We did a movie called The Lost Light, which is the most incredible movie. It's about Shmirat HaLashon. And in The Lost Light, we had many gigantic scenes. We had Sheva Brachas for 35 people. We had a bar mitzvah for 60 people. We catered it. We did everything. And on my list of responsibilities, I was responsible for the bar mitzvah cake. I think it said Mazel Tov Avi. So a month before this event, I ordered the bar mitzvah cake from the greatest, most amazing cake decorator that I know. And she wrote it down. I gave her the date. And the morning of the filming comes, and my director calls me and he says, "Oh, Sharon, okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting to the oh, there's our cake. I'm getting to the set, and is everything okay with the cake?" I said, "What? It wasn't delivered yet? It was supposed to be delivered already." I called the cake decorator and she tells me, "Today? What do you mean today? It's not today. It's not the 8th, it's the 18th." And I said, "No, no, it's today. It's today." Well, I didn't know what to do. I thought about it. I said, "Wait a second. I remember that in movies, they take things like, they'll take anything and they'll make it look like the real prop." I said, "Do you have a box or something that we can put cake frosting on, and we could write Mazel Tov Avi and make it look nice?" And she says, "I'm leaving now. I'm going to Beersheba, but you know what? I do have a box, and I'm sorry about the problem, and I'm going to decorate the box for you." She came and she decorated the box and it looked gorgeous. She brought it in like 20 minutes, and I put it on the table and I said to my decorator, "How do you like it?" And he said, "Wow, it's gorgeous, Sharon. Thank you so much." And I said, "Oh, I'm so happy you like it. It's a box." And he said, "What do you mean it's a box?" I said, "It's a box that we decorated to look like a cake." And he said, "Oh no, but we have to cut it open because a very important part of the scene is Rabbi Roth carrying the cake in his hand, a piece of cake." So I was like, "Okay, what time are we doing that?" And he said it would be like in, I don't know, an hour. I ran out. I bought 2 cakes. I piled them on top of each other. And as you saw, our production assistant over there this is the real cake. This is the cake that was a box. The cake you see on the screen right now. But the other cake was the cake that we had backstage that my production assistant was putting frosting on, and we were trying to decorate to make it look like a real cake. And in the close-up shots, you see this beautiful cake, but in the faraway shots and the shots where people are actually carrying around pieces of cake, you see the other cake. So thank God. Yeah, here's you see here's our scene of our bar mitzvah. The whole thing was catered. It was a beautiful affair. We didn't have a bar mitzvah boy, but we did have all the guests, and they had an amazing time. And Baruch Hashem, that was an almost prop fiasco, but it ended up being a success. Thank God.
Sharon, you always have the best stories, by the way. And I do want to say that every time, if I have any story from a shoot, it always involves you. And it's really that last minute thing that we have to worry about, that it's like the night before we're gluing back, the cover of the sitter and things like that. And that's really how these productions work. And even I want to say, even tonight with the live stream, we had a little bit of back and forth to try and figure out things, which the point of these videos and the point of videos in general is to make it look like everything's going according to plan. And it as a theater person. I'm also a theater person. We've worked on theater productions together, which is great. And that's what it looks like from the audience perspective. Everything is great. And behind the scenes, we're doing our best. And in the end, we finish with smiles. And it's really to bring the content to you guys, to bring the content to the viewers. And as you mentioned earlier, we have about 15 new productions just waiting to get the green light so we could go forward, go back out into the field, and bring you guys new content.
That's true. And we not only present beautiful Torah messages and mitzvot and midos and halachot, but we also show to some kids that are around, or some people that are around the world, we show them their first glimpses of Israel. We show them Torah Life has been everywhere. We've been all the way up north. We've been all the way down south. We've been in the desert. We've been on the mountains. We've been in the ocean. It's just been, we have introduced Israel to people that maybe haven't even ever seen it before. Our locations are varied and they're exciting. One of the most we've been everywhere. We've been in every hotel. We've been in every name an important landmark in Israel, and Torah Life has been there, and we filmed there. One of our most difficult locations wasn't on top of a mountain or in the sea or in the desert. It was actually on the train. the Israel Railroad. For some reason, and I have no idea why, our script writers love to write train sequences into our movies. And I have tried for like 7 years to get the Israel Railroad to let us go on one of their trains. But they always say no, because they don't want the other passengers to be disturbed. And after 7 years of having the Israel Railroad say, no, you can't film on the railroad, we don't want to disturb our passengers, we came up with an idea. And that was to buy every single ticket that would fill up an entire railroad car. I don't remember how many tickets. Is it 40, 41? We hired 41 extras. If the number was 41, I can't remember, it was 34 or 41. We hired 41 extras. We bought 41 tickets. We filled 41 seats. And therefore, we were able to film without bothering anybody. And this was a scene from The Lost Light, and it was so incredible. Every single one of our passengers was so into it and loved it so much. They had such an incredible day. What did we do? We got on the first stop in Yerushalayim. We took the very, very last car, and we filled up our Torah Live team there. And we just rode the railroad back and forth all day until we finished filming the sequence that we needed. And it was just fantastic. We rode to Herzliya. When we got out of Herzliya, I think we had a half an hour break. The whole cast came off. I brought food for all of them. We had lunch, like a picnic, in the Herzliya train station. We got back on. We came back. We came a few stops, not all the way to Jerusalem. And then we went back to Herzliya, and then we came back to Jerusalem. It was an amazing day. It was just an amazing. Wait, Marty, you were on that train. You were with us, and we had such a fantastic time. We remember that train ride? And I can't hear you, but I know that you say you do remember the train ride. And we wanted it to be so perfect. We even had a rehearsal in the backyard of our production company. And we had everybody, like the main characters of the train, we had them sitting in seats representing the train and moving around the way they were supposed to be doing it. And it was an incredible, incredible experience. There's me. Wait, that's Aviva. Hi, Aviva. So we had a really great time. The people were very cooperative. There you are, Marty. Go, Marty. That was great. We also had, after the train, well, actually before the train, we did have one shoot that almost never happened. And that was not because the government didn't let us shoot somewhere. They let us shoot once they let us shoot in the airport. They let us shoot in a port. They let us shoot, I don't know, all kinds of different places. We asked for permission. Sometimes it took a month or 2 months or 3 months to get it, but we got it. But one of our most fun shoots that almost didn't ever happen wasn't because of a government or any ishurim, any permissions. It was because of Mother Nature. We were filming the movie Netilat Yadayim, and we had decided that we would take a classroom of boys. Now, of course, these boys weren't from one classroom. They're from many different classrooms, but Torah Live creates many different realities. And one of them was a school of boys. And we were going to take them up to the Kinneret to teach the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. How can we wash our hands when we're on a trip? How can we wash our hands if we don't have any water? How can we wash our hands if we're on a bus and we're hungry? How can we wash our hands if we're in the ocean and we don't have a Netilat Yadayim cup? So for one of the scenes of this movie, we decided that we're going to take a Torah Live class of boys and we're going to take them up to the Kinneret. It was going to be amazing. We had planned it, I think, for Isru Chag Pesach, which is the last day of Pesach in Israel, and and the last day of Pesach in the diaspora, and the day after Pesach in Israel, and we planned the whole thing. It was great. And what happened? A humongous storm, a storm like a hurricane, a gigantic storm, and we had to push it off. We told the boys we'll push it off in like 2 weeks, or we'll let them know, whatever. And then when we were supposed to go again, we had technical difficulties, and we had to push it off again. And we had to push it off again, and the boys were sort of getting like a little depressed, and the parents were getting a little annoyed, and like, what's happening here? So I took all the boys in this class out to pizza, and I invited them to bring their favorite Netilat Yadayim cup and to say something about it. And they did, and it was so much fun. And also it gave these boys a chance to bond and really get to know one another. So when we actually were able to shoot, which was several weeks later, they already knew each other. They felt comfortable with one another. And that was really terrific. So we get these boys together, and tell them, we're going to the Kinneret, and you're going to go swimming, and it's going to be the best day, and you're going to love it. So now, if you've ever been on a movie shoot, you know that things take a little longer than we expect, and we had to shoot them getting on the bus. So you think that it's easy to shoot 20 kids getting on a bus, but it's not. I think there were a dozen boys getting on the bus, but not so easy. I think we did it 6 times. And then we had a great trip up to the Kinneret, and on the bus we were shooting, and the boys were having fun, and it was really terrific. We get to the Kinneret, we have to have them come off the bus. It took another half a dozen times for them to come off the bus. So between that and it suddenly it's getting very late, and we're wondering, are these boys ever going to get a chance to swim? And we're thinking they better swim, or there's going to be like a revolution here. And so we let them off, and Amichai, it says Amichai was in the class. He was in the class. That's right. It's so funny with Torah Live. We've over the past 7 years, we've seen all these kids grow up to be such fantastic young men. They started out with us when they're like 10 years old. Thank you. That's so nice. They started out with us when they were like 10 years old, and then like growing. We used them at 10, we used them at 12, we used them at 14. But anyway, we finally got to the Kinneret, and we finally went through all the things that we had to do, all the shots that we had to do. And then we told them, okay, guys, now you can go swimming. And they just ran, they jumped in the water, and everybody was watching them. We had our cameraman was watching him, and the director was watching him, and the production guy was watching them, the lighting guy's watching them, I was watching them. We were all watching them to make sure that they were all safe, all of them swimming in the Kinneret. It was a fantastic, fun, really wonderful evening.
Wow.
Evening,
Sharon.
morning, day. It went into evening. But by the time we got home, it was evening.
Right.
I'm
Sharon,
sorry.
you are the best. You have the greatest stories. I do want to jump back for a second. When we were speaking about the Lost Light, I do want to thank our donor for the Lost Light video, which is Ilan and Victoria Sasha from London, which is
Wow.
which they made that film happen. And like everything we're saying, everything costs money, and there's these big productions that we have planned, and we're looking for people to help us with this final donation. Now, Sharon, I do want to say that we have right now scheduled the world premiere of our newest Torah Live film. And I know that you haven't seen it yet, and you asked me this morning about it, right?
I want to see it.
You want to see it? All right, great. So you know what? I'm actually going to leave you on. We're going to watch the film with everybody together here. Gratitude, Rabbi Sitter, one of the top characters here on Torah Live. And then afterwards, we'll spend a couple minutes talking about how great it was. How does that sound?
Sounds great to me. Let's do it.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's just pull it up in 3, 2, 1. What did you think so far? What did you think of the film?
Well, I love Rabbi Sitter, and Rabbi Sitter actually represents one of the only sitters in the world that actually has a stunt double. The siddur
Oh,
that we
really?
used in tefillah, and the siddur that we used in tefillah was over 100 years old, and we used it so much, and we gave it all kinds of special effects that in the middle of the filming, we said, you know what? This siddur is too precious to just use like a regular siddur, like a prop. And we actually got a stunt double for it. Ah, there it is. There's the stunt double. Yeah, it worked out great.
All right, here we go.
It
We're
did
going to
all
jump
kinds
back.
of things. Ah, ready.
All right, we're ready. We're ready to take it off. All right, here we go. Gratitude, the world premiere. Yeah.
There's a very important part of tefillah that we haven't spoken about yet. With tefillah, there's three things you can do. Shabach, you can praise God. You can say, wow, rabu ma'asecha. Look how great are your works in this world. You can ask for things. And there's a third one that's called hodah. It's called giving thanks. I just want to illustrate this, the modim, but throughout the tefillah, there's a constant concept of giving thanks. Let's take a look. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? Good. After that, there's a little tefillah you say even before you get out of bed. You say a little tefillah that says, thank God I'm alive. The fact that I woke up and I'm still alive, what a gift. Every single day is a gift. One of the reasons why we wash our hands when we wake up in the morning is because when you get something new, a new pot, a new spoon, whatever it is, you have to put it in the mikveh. The same thing with you. Today, you're a brand new person. So every day I count my blessings. Thank God I can stand. Thank God I've got clothes to wear. What a difference than people who wake up in the morning and they look miserable. Get out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour themselves a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Good morning. What's good about it? Another day. People don't appreciate the fact that life is a gift. Look at all the good we have in our lives, and we spend so much time looking at what we don't have. Someone takes us out to eat. We order a hamburger. It's grilled to perfection. A nice crispy bun with fresh vegetables, just the way we like it. But there's no ketchup. And that's it. My life is over. I have nothing to live for. Because there's no ketchup. That's all you can look at. All you can look at is the stuff that you haven't got. You ever see a little kid? Parents go shopping. They bring back a ton of stuff. I got you this, I got you this, I got you this, I got you this. And the little kid is piling it up in his arms. The pile is taller than him. And in the end, he says, what else did you get me? His mother was shopping in the fruit store, and the fruit man gave the little boy a banana. And the mother said, what do you say? The little boy said, peel it. Do you understand, if you don't have a chance to appreciate something, you miss out on the best of everything? People eat a fruit, gobble it down, yum, 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 it's gone. It's gone before they even had a chance to realize what it was. They didn't take a chance to think about it and say, wow, this is so nice. You know, how often do we tell our parents how much we appreciate them? Wow, Mom and Dad, it's so nice how much time you spend taking care of me. Ever since I was a baby, I've seen babies, they don't do a lot. They cry, they're about to cry, they just finish crying, they dirty up diapers. My gosh, you changed my diapers? That's so nice of you. I had to keep cleaning up the walls when I wrote on them. I had to keep buying clothes for me. I kept growing out of them. Look at all the toys you bought me. My gosh, I had so many toys. I don't even know what to do with them. When I think about all the things that you and Mom have done for me, I am overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude. Who are you kidding? You know what every kid says to their parent? You've never done anything for me in my whole life. You were never there for me. You never took care of me. You never did anything for me. Give me your car keys. I want to be independent. And give me money. It costs money to be independent. My goodness, just sit down one time and figure out how much money your parents have spent on you. Imagine a guy stops you in the street and hands you that cash. You think you'd be a little appreciative? Next time you eat a candy bar, think about the people who are harvesting the cocoa beans down in South America. And think about the people who had to put them into bags and transport them to the factory. And think about the people in the factory who made it into cocoa powder. And think about the people on the boat who brought it over to America. And then think about all the different people who were involved in making this candy bar and putting it together. Now, a lot of people did a lot of things to make that happen for you. That's too much for you? Well, how about thanking your mother for supper? That's a little more direct. You can see your mother making supper. Ever see a kid come in? Meatballs? I don't want meatballs. Why'd you make meatballs? Make me something else. So, when you live your life by the siddur, you say, Moda Ani, Pokeach Ivrim, Malbish Aromim. I'm so happy I have clothes to wear, food to eat. When we thank Hashem every day for all the good we have, for every moment that we can breathe, and for every moment of life, if we spend time focusing on all the good things that Hashem gives us, all the blessings, we will learn to appreciate all the good that other people do for us on a daily basis.
All right, Sharon, what did you think about that?
I thought that was fantastic. Rabbi Siddur is just great. And I think that gratitude now is like the new cool. You know, yeah, there were all these other like things that once upon a time were the cool thing, but now to be to be grateful for what you have is the new cool. And this video really teaches it. It's terrific.
It's true. It's true. And we actually have another little section that is coming out. We have gratitude that's coming out in a couple weeks, and then a little extra section, which is never before seen, that's going to be coming out very, very soon. So, Sharon, I just want to ask you, do you know who Jamie Geller is, by the way?
Jamie Geller is a great chef. Jamie Geller is a fantastic personality. Everyone loves Jamie Geller.
Okay, so I guess you do know who she is. Anyway, so I wanted to say that you are a little bit of a tough act to follow, as everybody knows. But right after you, we do have our final hour with Jamie Geller. Are you gonna? So I'm gonna have to let you go.
I'm gonna hang around and watch.
You're gonna hang around and watch. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. But Sharon, are there any last words that you would like to share to all of our viewers, to all of our donors, to everybody who is part of the Torah Live family? What is your message to them?
I want to thank the Torah Live family all over the world. It's thanks to you that we are able to bring the message of Torah to kids, to families, to people all over the world in a way that they understand. This language of the screen, this language of the media, is not our enemy. Rabbi Roth has made it into one of our biggest advocates, and he has created a world of Torah in the 20th century technology. And please help us. And if you've already helped us, thank you so much. And I thank my husband for his donation. And every other husband is invited to donate as well. And a Shana Tova to everybody. Hatzlacha, we're going to make that goal. We're going to get there.
We are. Sharon, thank you so much for joining us with your incredible stories, and I will see you soon. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.